Welcome to the Mountain Ranch Estates Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein, and I'm a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide here in Park City, Utah. I'm happy that you're joining me today. We're going to look at what's been happening in the Ranch Place Estates neighborhood in terms of sales and activity, and see how that pertains to real estate there. Before I get started, I want to just mention that my goal is to anticipate your questions. However, in case I miss something, I want you to feel free to contact me. So maybe grab a pen or pencil, have a piece of paper handy if something comes to mind while I'm giving my presentation. If I don't cover it by the end, send me an email at ron@thewilsteinteam.com, and I'm happy to discuss whatever's on your mind. If you want me to call you, include your phone number and a preferred time, and I'll do so. Anyway, let's hop right into our content today. And before we look at Mountain Ranch Estates, let's take an overview of what's been happening in the Park City real estate market. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,397 sales, and this consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined. And this data is from the Park City Multiple Listing Service, so it is all real estate companies in Park City combined. Now that's up 12% or 152 sales from the previous year. When we break this down into greater detail, we can see that 7% of it comes from homes. In the period of time from April 2013 to the end of March 2014, we saw 569 home sales in the Park City area compared to 531 the year before, so a 7% increase. Condominiums were also up, in this case by 15%, rising from 539 sales to this past year 621 sales. But the greatest increase was in the area of lots or vacant land. That was up by 18% from 175 sales to 207 transactions. But people always want to know what's happening in terms of prices. What's happening in the market? Well, we're going to take a look at homes, the median sold prices for homes, that same time period from April 2013 to March 2014. And I broke this up in terms of Park City city limits and out in the county area of Park City, otherwise known as Snyderville Basin. Well, values are up by 14% within the city. The median sold price was $1,100,000 and is now $1,250,000. So a nice increase of 14% there. Homes in the Snyderville Basin rose by 11% from $642,500 to $713,000. So nice increases in both areas. Condominiums within the Park City limits was actually pretty flat, slightly down at less than 1%, or in this case about $500. We went from a median sold price previous year of $490,000 to $489,500, just by 500. So for all intents and purposes, it's pretty level. In the Snyderville Basin, however, excuse me, in the Snyderville Basin, however, we saw an increase of 24% from $270,750 to $335,000, a nice increase there. And then where we see the bulk of the increase is in the vacant land. Lots both within the city limits as well as the county rose by 31% in the city, from $515,000 as the median sold price to $677,000, a nice increase there. In the Snyderville Basin, the median sold price for land was $239,000, it climbed all the way to $310,000 by 30%. So very nice patterns in terms of prices going up. Now, this graph here is a nice one to look back. We're going all the way back to 2005, which was the height of the market. That's when we sold the greatest amount of homes, condos, and lots in the history of Park City history in 1 year, with 2,912. Then the recession hit, then the mortgage crisis hit, and things plummeted. They dropped for 4 years in a row, and that drop from the height to the bottom was really a 77% decline in number of sales. But then in 2010, it picked up, and what's nice is you can see the last 4 years, it's been a steady increase, a very well-balanced increase. We've got a strong market here in Park City, and very, very positive news. Now, let's turn our attention to Mountain Ranch Estates, and it's a little bit of a mixed message here. The number of home sales are actually down, in this case by 45% compared to the previous year. So we went from having 11 sales in a 12-month period to the April 2013 to March 2014 only having 6. So that is a decrease of 45%, or basically almost cut in half in terms of the number of transactions. Now, the rate of sale is captured by the absorption rate. What the absorption rate is, that is how fast does the current inventory of properties sell on average. And in ranch place estates, properties are selling one every 61 days, or basically every other month. So it takes 60 days to sell on average. That's a nice pace, a nice activity. Currently, there are 2 homes on the market in mountain ranch estates, which means there's a 4-month inventory. Now, the National Association of Realtors reports that a balanced market, where there's equal amount of buyer and seller interest, is about a 6-month inventory. However, in resort markets like Park City, it typically is a longer time period, and it's about a 9-month time frame. So when we see a 4-month inventory, that's very positive for sales in mountain ranch estates. The prices spread out from $1,400,000 on the low end of the range all the way to $2,200,000, with the medium sold price being over $2 million, $2,050,000. Now, here's the good news. That is up 54%. The medium sold price the year before was $1,335,000. Now we're at $2,050,000. So while the number of sales have dropped off, the prices have gone up. There was 1 lot sale in mountain ranch estates in the past 12 months. Technically is down 50% from the year before because there were 2. So it's a 50% decline, but it's just 1 less sale. There's not a lot of land that's moving or even on the market. So that's what's happening in mountain ranch estates when it comes to the vacant land. The single lot sale that occurred was at $340,000, just mathematically down 5% from the one that was the previous year at $357,500. Again, the sampling is only 1 each year. It's just not large enough to draw any meaningful conclusion from. Now, if you would like to receive a printout of the homes or the lots in mountain ranch estates that made up the data in this presentation, send me an email to ron@thewilsteinteam.com, and I will send that to you. I'll send it to you in a format where you can either look at it online or print it out. But then you'll see the specifics, and you can see exactly which properties sold, what their features were, and how much did they sell for, and how long it took. But let me just take a moment as we wrap up here to share with you how you can go to our website and pretty much get the information presented in this webinar whenever you wish. And if you'll bookmark BuyParkCity.com/mountain ranch, or you can do thewilsteinteam.com/mountain ranch, it will take you to the same place. Then you're going to arrive, let me show you exactly where you're going to arrive. You're going to arrive at this spot on our website, and it is a page specifically devoted to mountain ranch estates. And let me just scroll down here a little bit. You have 2 buttons here. The green button, you can watch a webinar to get an update on mountain ranch estates. In essence, if you push that, you'd be watching this webinar. Or you can ask for current sales data at any time. That will send a quick note to me. I'll get that out to you. I'll show you that in a moment. But let me just scroll down a little bit lower. There's currently 3 properties on the market in mountain ranch estates. And one just came on the market, and that's why we've got 1 more from when we actually provided that slide. In any event, what you see is you see the 3 different properties there. If I was to click on, let's say, just this middle one here, it takes me immediately to the property, and right away you'll begin to see pictures rotating. So you'll see the outside, you'll see the inside. You can see the price, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, the year it was built, and you actually get quite a bit of information. If you want more, you can inquire about the property by clicking on that button, request a showing if that's what you're interested in. Or what our website does, which is very handy, is you can actually keep track of properties that you look at, and you can mark your favorites, so you can click favorites or you could print the details, whatever you want to do. You go a little bit lower on this page and you get more details on the property, and it's very handy as a place to refer to. You can do that on any of those properties. One of the things that people like on our website is our bird's eye view of the property. If you click on that, you suddenly have an overhead view, and you can see that it's right on the curve there. The property is right there, and it gives you the ability to see what's around it in terms of open space. If you want, you can zoom into this and take even a closer look, or you can go further away. And often people like that, just see what's around a property. So that is available on our websites, on any property that shows up there. Whoops. Now let me also show you this, going back to the original page. Anytime you want, my website's always going to show you the active listings, but if you want more details on closed sales, you request it here. You simply click on that, and in this case it's defaulted to my name. You type in your name, your email address, and if you want, you can put your mailing address in. You don't have to, but I do publish a quarterly newsletter with a lot of good details, so if you want that, be sure to give us that address. Then in the subdivision, you would type in Mountain Ranch Estates. Lower down, ask your question or tell me what you want, and then just hit submit the form, and it will come to me, and I'll get you whatever you need. And it's just that easy. If you are curious as to what your home may be worth in today's market, I'm happy to provide that information, no cost or obligation, and simply send me an email, Ron at the Wilstein team, and let me know what your address is, and just say, give me a call, and we'll set up a time to come by and see it. Finally, let me just mention that every month I update the marketplace, our kind of viewing audience, if you will, and I do a market update webinar called Park City Market Talk. It's about a 15 to 20 minute presentation, and some of the initial information that we present in this webinar on the overall Park City market we review every month, so you can see any changes that occur right when they occur. And then we will deal with topics that are on everyone's mind based on questions we receive or the news, and speak to those. So if you're interested in getting updated anytime, we update that every second Tuesday of the month. And if you want to be put on our email list to get a notice, just send us a note. We'll be happy to do that. If you want to look at past topics that we've dealt with, you can go to our webinar archive as well. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. I hope this has been a good brief introduction as to what's happening in Mountain Ranch Estates, and don't hesitate to contact me if you have any further questions. Bye-bye.